I think Crappy might be good to go. Yeah, I hope you are all doing well, because we have the endurance round right now. What does that mean? These two players are going to be playing for 2 hours rather than 1. That's how we originally started Kusog7ande, and that's how we're going to... We live by the 2 hours, and we die by the 2 hours today. Let's go ahead, Crappy, take us over. Okay. Well, good job. Good job as at least bringing us over here. Crappy, who is the GM for the first game, for our endurance round between Meekins and Peekabells? It is... it's me. Bet you didn't see that coming. Well, I've been doing a little thinking about what I want to give out, and hopefully we have somebody else join me for commentary, because I would love to chat with the GM and find out what they think about this game. Because, you know what? We have had this game in Kusog7ande before, but not as an endurance match. What even does that mean? I don't know. It meant that, like, it was fitting for Kusog7ande, but I finally found a good excuse to bring it back. Everybody say hello to our game of the match. Our dear friend, Space Ace. Space Ace is a game that was made based off of cartoon animations in the arcade, ported to Super Nintendo. This is kind of legendary in our community just because of some of the quotes from the game. Don't worry, you'll learn all of the important quotes. I promise. And if you don't, then too bad, you know? We're gonna deal. Everybody already feeling bad for the players. Just Huxley, I know. You can go ahead and cry for them. Don't cry for me, cry for the players. Well, this game is actually a little bit non-linear, and because of that, I helped talk through things to decide what is going to be the best for progress. And essentially, we are going to be judging based off of the number of stages cleared. And if that is a tie, then the number of stages that they have cleared in a single playthrough. And then if that's also a tie, the number, or whoever got there first, you know? So... traditional tiebreaker, at least towards the end, but because of the non-linear nature, I want to allow the players and incentivize them to actually go at different places and learn a little bit more about this game, because it is a beauty. Just trust me on that, okay? It's so good. Oh my gosh, how's everybody doing though? I hope that we have somebody to help me commentate, because I am neither brains... maybe a little brawn. Definitely the beauty here, though, okay? You're gonna have one of those 3 things. I don't know what I'd suggest you make it. Just make it good. Make it good. Yeah. I hope you're excited for this, though. Meekins was in our latest endurance round and actually really complained about the game because it was tactics formula, not what Meekins wanted to play, but what Meekins kind of got stuck with, and it totally wasn't in their wheelhouse of specialties. Space Ace, though, is a little bit closer to a traditional platformer, and a little bit, I'm not going to spoil too much for those who haven't seen it, because you're going to see what kind of nightmare this game is. It's its own special type of nightmare. Okami's offering to commentate here? Okami, you want to be a commentator? Just jump in general voice and I'll drag you in. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yo, Okami.
Hello.
Hey, I'll go ahead and share my screen for you over on OBS.
Well, that would be fun.
Yeah. That way you can hear the music that we've got, you can hear the sound effects, and you can watch without any delay. You'll see exactly what I'm seeing.
I can yell at this game in real time.
Oh my gosh. Are you excited for this?
Oh, I sure am. This was... So, some people probably know about Retro Book Club. This was kind of one of the games that was the inspiration behind it, because the start of it, it was basically just like a private call between myself and my co-host Toon, and this was one of the games I was just showing him, and then we decided, yeah, let's do this some more. So I'm excited to see how they handle this.
That's just regret. But yeah, just so you know, so that you can help with keeping track, we are judging based off of who has made or cleared the most levels, period. They don't have to do it in a single playthrough, but if it's tied, then it's based off of how many levels they cleared in a single playthrough. And honestly,
Cool.
I have no idea how this is going to go. We might see a lot of levels, we might not.
Yeah, I opened up the historical Kuso documentation to see the last time this was in Kuso. I see it here in Tuso, also as an endurance match. Looks like between Cards of the Heart and Mouse.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that we had this as an endurance match. That's perfect.
It's best fit for an endurance match, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Meekins was complaining in my last match with the tactics formula that they won't get the most boring game ever on their next race, and this is going to be a good example of be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add you to the space chat. Yeah.
The space chat.
The space chat to the commentary there. Now, everybody, Okami is one of the competitors here in Kusog7ande. You're still in the tournament, right?
I sure am.
Yeah, but we did not actually collaborate at all when choosing this game, and because of that, I'm comfortable having you here for, what's it called? For the endurance round. Because, like, you know this game, and I know that you do a pretty good job of, like, actually keeping track of stuff, whereas I do a really good job of being distracted by literally everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to play this game earlier in the tournament, funny enough. It was one of the games in my gauntlet. But the stage that I had to do for the gauntlet, I'll be impressed if, even with 2 hours on the clock, if they get there.
Yeah, they're probably not getting there.
No.
Yeah, so the deal here is that the gauntlet state that you got is, I believe, the second hub world, and your goal was just to enter a level, which honestly is really difficult. We're going to see one of the hub worlds for quite a bit of this. Chat, are you ready? Are you ready for space? Space.
Nobody is ready for Space Ace. I don't care if you say you're ready.
They're all ready. I can see it.
I'm ready for Space Ace.
Oh yeah, so am I. We're gonna do the countdown, everybody. Wish the players the best of luck, because here we go. Spam all of your space-related emotes, lasers, spaceships, guys with blonde hair, this blue guy.
If you have anybody that goes, maybe spam that as well.
We're
gonna be hearing,
We'll hear that a few times, I guarantee. As soon as I see movement in the game, I will start our timer. It does look like Meekins is hopping in. Remember, everybody, we've got 2 full hours of fun, and we have our
2
first
seconds
death.
and we have our first death. But that set the pace. And count on Meekin's side is 1.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of death. Don't worry about it, everybody.
Absolutely, and there's not exactly infinite lives. So we're also going to be seeing Mountainside a lot. By the end of the 2 hours, I'm sure both the players are going to get very good at Mountainside.
Yeah, I know that, like, the first level really sets the pace with the type of memorization you have to have in this game. Largely learning how the game plays, where you have to go, and what you have to do, as well as all of the BS that the game has. That is... Oh, Meekin's managing the gauntlet of jumps, but where do you go now?
All right, Meekins, you're going to have to energize. Energize, Meekin. Oh, well.
You definitely do not have to energize, but I gave them the manual. I want you to know that. They have the manual. They know what the buttons do.
How generous of you.
I know,
So for anyone who's not familiar with energizing in this game, the only reason you would want to energize is if you're going for a high score. So as a competitor, you don't want to energize at all.
I mean, if you can get extra lives out of a higher score, that kind of could theoretically be helpful. And I think there are one or two levels where energizing actually makes it a little bit easier. But, like, it very much punishes you for trying to have fun in this game.
Mm-hmm. I think extra lives are only through
we got energize.
Got the energize. Energizing is also a bit clunky to activate because I believe you have to hit L and R together. And now Meekins is going to cry when they realize that this just wastes their time and makes the stage longer and more difficult.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to get a good score.
Honestly,
wouldn't that be
I appreciate the Energize. Energize basically is hard mode, chat, as Prince Horde can... I don't know how to say that. Prince says in chat...
How funny would it be if for a future instance where Space Haste was given out, instead of going by the usual how many stages we've beaten, you went by score?
Oh my gosh, that would
actually incentivize people to energize more often.
That would be pure evil, and honestly, that sounds fantastic. I love it. Yeah, so Kami, how much of this game have you played?
I haven't beaten it, but I have played using save states. I've played through most of the game. I've definitely gotten to like the rocket skate maze portion before.
Yeah, so people are asking, how do we determine a winner? Simply put, the first level is very easy to follow, but after the first level, it essentially opens up to a hub world. We are tracking based off of who has cleared the largest number of levels, period. And then if both of them have cleared the same number of levels, then whoever did that first. Or not whoever did that first, whoever did that in a single playthrough.
I'm going to open up a notepad to try to help keep track of this stuff.
Ah!
It looks like Meekins was really close to the end of Mountainside, so should hopefully be getting this soon.
Getting through the first stage in just like under 5 minutes, that's really impressive. I gotta be honest, this is an extremely hard game, despite all appearances. Like, this is kind of something that, you know, you cannot just stop thinking. And I really think that this can get tiring for people who are playing it. Yeah. At the same time,
Mountainside is going to be a good showing of progress by the end of the 2 hours because, like, at this stage, they're learning how to get through Mountainside, but I'm willing to bet you by the end of the race, they're going to be resetting if they take a single death in Mountainside once they've already learned how to get through Mountainside. Like, they're struggling with it now, but by the end of these 2 hours, they're going to make it no problem. Pika Pals is energized.
Pika Pals is dead.
And has died.
I love that this game has so many death animations. Unfortunately, they take a long time to play out, and they are unfortunately very repetitive, especially early on, but later on there are some interesting ones. For now, we're going to have a lot of
Meekins is doing the time warp again.
Just jump to the left, step to the right, you know?
Yeah, I mean, with how you have to move in this game, it really is just a jump to the left and then a step to the right.
Yeah, the thing is, jumping is a little bit difficult to handle in this game, mostly because you do have to get used to being able to jump across these gaps, and there's very little feedback for if you are jumping right. You sort of got to memorize how far can I jump.
It's committed jumps, and the moment you release the jump button, you will start plummeting. So you have to judge the angle of, like, you have to judge how far you're going to be jumping, so you don't jump too far or you don't jump too little. So what Meekins may not have realized yet is the moment this spaceship that is on screen for Meekins, once it's on screen, that's basically the stage done. Meekins didn't have to make that last jump. Regardless, Meekins is the first one out of the stage. Well, has cleared it, but is in time warp mode, so is probably a bit confused now.
Well, there we go. We have a level cleared.
It's technically a level cleared. I'd say that counts.
Wait, so why did we go back here?
Because Meekins had already gotten a game over. Meekins had time warps available, which I believe means you can retry the stage that you're on. But even if you clear it, you can't make progress. So it's just a way to learn some stages.
How do you turn on time warps?
It just happens automatically when you have game over. You have a set number of time warps. So they kind of function as fake extra lives, I guess you could say.
Okay. That doesn't sound great per se.
No. It might be helpful to them because in later stages where you're going to want to learn how to get through them for future runs, time warps are going to be pretty helpful in that case because you'll have some attempts to be able to learn the stage without having to play through all the rest of the game to get back there.
Also, is chat saying that they can't see the lasers on Meekin's side? I can. If you're not able to, let me check and see. I thought that I had 60 frames per second coming out. Let me. Yeah, I've got it set to 60 FPS. So if you're not seeing it, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe let's blame Twitch. There are definitely lasers.
I wasn't paying too close of attention, but I'll see about that next time. So now Meekin's got through the stage, hasn't used the time warp, so should be moving on to the real fun of Space Ace.
What? Flying a spaceship? Yeah.
The
Space
Maze.
Oh, geez. That scared me.
So welcome to the Space Maze. I hope you don't get motion sick easily, because we're going to be here for a while. So this is considered the hub world in this stage. There are portals all over the place. Pika-Pal's also just got there.
Yeah.
There's portals all over the place. You got to find one to go into, and it'll take you into another stage. And you just gotta keep finding them. So let's see. Let's see.
Whoa, Meekin's got to a level?
Yeah.
And
Which level,
Pika-Pals is right behind as well. Pika-Pals can get into a level in just a little bit.
Ooh, Space Station Alpha. Which stage? Oh, Meekins has a hard one to do. Space Station Alpha is a really rough stage to do. So I'm going to be very interested in this.
Yeah.
Also note in the Space Maze, you might notice there are some walls that are yellow and some walls that are blue. Yellow walls do a little bit of damage to your ship. Blue walls take you straight down to 1 hit remaining. And Meekins got sniped at point blank range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just gonna happen.
I think we're gonna at least see the especially hard part of the stage that Meekins is on. So here's a question for tracking. Are we still going to count a stage as cleared if they beat it while in a time warp? Because they still did beat the stage, but it's technically not progress within the game.
I mean, yeah. But whatever. Yeah, here's the deal. Progress within a stage, in my opinion, does not matter. Clearing a stage is what matters. So if neither player clears this stage, it's not going to count. But both of them, I believe, went the same direction and are getting to experience this. This level is honestly very much memorization.
Yeah, particularly this part that Meekins just died on is the hardest part of this level because it's so hard to predict where is a safe spot.
Yeah, it is.
You have to get lucky or be really good at memorizing the pattern. Yeah, Novasol is right. If you want to get to the later half of the game, you do have to beat all the levels. It is non-linear, but eventually it will end up becoming linear again.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see how Pika-Pals handles this, this section here. The first wave of electricity is easy enough. You just jump over it. And then this.
Oh!
Pika's doing a good job at dodging so far. Does it last the whole way? It might actually. It might actually. Pika-Pals is doing really good.
Wow.
Yeah, Pika-Pals managed to do that first try, which is very impressive.
That is very good. Very, very good. Of course.
Unfortunately, died right after, so
I mean,
it's gonna have to do that again.
That happens to the best of us, you know.
Yeah.
Well, what you gonna say? Sometimes you're just gonna get space aced.
They're far enough into this tournament. They deserve some suffering.
Yeah.
And Space Ace is some classic suffering. All right, so Meekins is gonna have another shot here at the crap. I don't even know how else you would describe it, because it is total crap. Meekins having fun with the HUD. Oh, it's doing it along with the music.
My gosh. I love
the music
players.
is going to get repetitive because it's like a 40-second loop, and in most stages it's the song you're going to be hearing. So you're going to be hearing this track a lot.
Oh yeah.
All right. I wonder if there's like if one of those circles you can stand on that never gets electrocuted, because I'm Thank you, bro.
I'm turning it up. I got to make sure everybody can hear the sounds. Okay. I mean, why not add sounds to our Discord while we're playing?
All right.
Yeah. And Space Ace is a prime example of a game that needs some sound clips for it.
I mean, it's a prime example of a game.
Your mileage may vary on that one, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Looks like Pika Pals has gotten a game over.
That
probably
is
has time warps that they can
understandable.
use. Yep, you can warp 1 time.
Yep. By using a time warp, are you ever able to actually beat the level, or is it just
I mean,
to
you can get to the end of the level, but once you get,
I would still consider it beaten per our rules.
Yeah, you'll still get to the end of the level, just that instead of going back to the hub stage, that'll either be game over, or you'll go back to using another time warp. You can just practice the stage some more. And to be fair, this is one stage that I think is going to be worth practicing. Let's see what
I'm letting the players know, by the way, that if they do beat a level using time warps, I will count it as being beaten. I do like that the game gives you a way to practice earlier stages, though. I think that is very helpful.
Yeah. It is also, I mean, it's helpful throughout the game because, like, the game is not a short game. Like, you might assume, like, oh, yeah, if you know what you're doing in Space Ace, like, you can probably beat it really quick, and it's like a 40-minute game.
Yeah, Pika Pals, by the way, was just standing in one location in order to dodge all of the attacks there, and I think that was wise. I do think that it's good for the players to get more practice in these levels, and there are a lot of levels that they can go to. By a lot, I mean maybe like 3 or 4 in the first hub world. Not a lot.
So by my notepad, still trying to keep track of all this. They've both done Mountainside and only Mountainside so far, but
Yes.
Meekins has done it first. So I wonder if their next time going through the hub area, they're going to accidentally find a different stage and end up attempting that one instead.
Far out.
Once you go into the stage, you kind of have no choice but to attempt it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're making the Mountainside stage look really easy at this point.
Yeah, the thing is, it's really not easy. These players have been playing for a long time, and they know how to do this game. It's very impressive what they're doing here.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of surprised neither of them had played Space Ace at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Meekins had watched a little Space Ace, and at least had watched one of the matches, but neither Meekins nor Pika Pal has played any. Yeah, Meekins was like, I remember the game over screen. So that was nice.
All right, so Meekins has entered another stage. Is it the same? It's the same stage. Meekins is back to Space Station Alpha.
Alpha, baby.
I think if they can get past the that one part with all the electricity coming up, they can clear the stage.
Yeah. Okay, let me see about this sound. I got a new sound. Let me go ahead and try it.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
I think you might like this. Let's see if it's loud enough.
I could possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, there
Excellent.
we go. See, I actually have a bunch of sound effects on my computer that I need to put on the Discord. So,
Oh, I need to send you one that I have for my soundboard here. It's from another game that I got onto Kuso this year and is a very good sound.
oh,
Are you ready? Yeah. Cool.
my gosh,
Are you
no.
ready? Awesome.
I love using that sound.
My gosh. Oh, that is offensive. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I feel personally attacked.
Oh, Global Gladiators is such a game.
I don't.
Alright, so it looks like Meekins is trying the strat of standing still on a single tile, which I think is a pretty good strat because if you can find a tile to stand on and basically just safely remain there or just move over to one, then you've got a pretty reliable way of getting through the section. So if Meekins remembers that or makes a note of that, Meekins has a very good shot at just consistently being able to get through this stage. I think Meekins should be coming up soon on the end of the stage. Yeah, I think this is the end of the stage for Meekins.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the end of the stage.
Wow,
so Meekins
that
has
is a
cleared
very
Space
clear
Station Alpha.
Yeah. Meekins has a little bit of a lead, but Pika Pals will probably be able to do this fairly soon. I'd presume. Okay.
Anyway,
what about
back
this
to the
sound?
Space Maze. And Pika Pals is through the hard part as well. Unfortunately, got lasered right after.
Yeah, it's a good sound. It's a good sound, Brent.
Oh, Meekins completely juked around a portal trying to go into it, but got into it at least in the end.
Very nice.
So Meekins is going to the barren wasteland now.
Yeah.
This is going to be a fun stage to watch them do because
this one's
how do
hard.
you like purple bunnies?
I am not completely convinced they're bunnies. Meekins energizing.
Whatever
yes.
they might be. Meekins got chomped.
That's actually the quote about energize me is specifically about that stage right there. Let me just say, I really enjoyed playing this game, but at the same time, it is highly flawed. It is extremely difficult. Yeah.
I want to see one of them run into the death animation for those purple bunny cat things because they just drag you to your doom, and it's great.
It's fantastic. Yeah, hopefully it happens soon. Uh-oh.
I think this stage is at least a little bit easier than Space Station Alpha. Let's see if Meekins can avoid this. Nope. Had the right idea, though.
So, do you want to hear some of the lore? Because we're a space person, and there's a lot that's happening here. Let me go ahead and read to you from the manual. Earth is under attack from the evil Commander Borth. Using the deadly Infanto Ray, he plans to turn the population into babies, allowing him to conquer the planet with ease. You are Dexter, defender of truth, justice, and the planet Earth. Surely you can defeat Borth and his aliens. Oh, there, we got the death. Unfortunately, you've been shot by the Infanto Ray yourself and have turned into a kid. To make matters worse, your girlfriend Kimmy has been captured by Borth himself. Your task is to rescue Kimmy, regain your manhood, and save the Earth. Sounds easy, huh?
The best quote in all of this lore so far is regain your manhood.
Yeah, let me just say that it's the 90s. I'm pretty sure that this Space Ace nerd here, he's fine. That jump wasn't fine, but I do love that there is a whole hints and tips page. Meekins took a screenshot of tip number 7, and that says, follow the instructions carefully.
Also, as a fun fact, I was actually reading some of Don Bluth's works the other day, since this is a Don Bluth game.
Oh yeah.
Are you aware that Don Bluth voices a character in this game?
Actually, no, I'm not. I just had to say,
I believe Don Bluth actually voices the villain, Borf.
Well, good.
Wait.
Borf has the best voice acting in this.
Yeah, I like that sort of thing when creators sneak in like a cameo themselves, whether they like voice a character or play a character, kind of like what say Mel Brooks does, because
Yeah.
it's not uncommon for Mel Brooks to play a character in his own movie, which is kind of funny. I think he plays like the president in Spaceballs. Just
No, doesn't he play Yogurt?
does he? I know he plays a character in Spaceballs. I thought it was the president, but I could be wrong.
He could also play the president. He sometimes plays multiple characters. Yeah,
Plays multiple
Linker
yeah,
in chat
okay.
is saying probably
It's
multiple.
both? Okay.
Yeah. That sounds about
Oh,
right
we're-
for Mel Brooks. I mean, if you ever watch History of the Earth Part 1, he's all over the place. Like Mel Brooks, I do love when comedians do some of the writing themselves, and it's really impressive what some of them are able to do creatively. And
Yeah, Spaceballs is definitely one of my favorite instances of Mel Brooks' works because of a lot of stuff being lampshaded, and especially the story about the merchandising bit for Spaceballs. So that has a pretty good story attached to it.
Yeah, I know one of the movies that I liked the most, at least when I saw it, oh my gosh, The Producers is amazing. Again, that's a musical, and they changed it a little bit for the movie production, but it's really, really good. Silent Movie is worth watching if you've never seen it. Definitely pretty amazing. Robin Hood Men in Tights, highly recommended. I think I saw Blazing Saddles back in the day, but I can't remember.
I watched it recently as a movie night in our Discord, so not as big on Blazing Saddles compared to Spaceballs. I mean, it definitely still pokes fun, but your mileage may vary in the case of something like Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, it's kind of true. I would say that he did some amazing things, like Young Frankenstein. He was one of the main writers for that, which is brilliant. Definitely one of the best comedies, one of the best parodies out there. It's so good.
So the comment really quick, Pika Pow's managed to get through Space Station Alpha, so both have now cleared 2 stages.
Aha!
And now it's back to the space maze for Pika Pals.
Yeah, everybody loves a good space maze. So here's the deal. While you're flying, you do have a limited amount of health. If you run into things like walls, you do take damage. As you can see, there's the triangle on Pika Pal's screen. There were circles around the triangle. Those are your shields. So you gotta be careful.
When all the circles are gone, that means you are on your last hit, and you gotta be really careful. Pika Pal's finding barren wasteland just like Meekin, so they're both gonna have a fun time in here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see what happens. Meekin's gone off the cliff. Is in time warp mode as well, so they might be able to beat the stage, but they're gonna have to start over from the beginning again pretty soon here.
That is completely fine. Because we've got 2 full hours, players are going to have to memorize multiple levels in order to make the push to take the victory today. This is not a game for chumps. This is not a match that is going to come easily. Somebody is getting eliminated today, and honestly, I really have no idea if it's going to be Meekins or Pika Pals, but I don't think we even put a poll up, did we?
No, I see no such poll.
Well, everybody, let's go ahead and do a quick 2-minute poll for who is going to win.
I think even being 26 minutes now into the match, I think it's fair to do a poll because they're both basically tied here.
We
Meekins
are
has
tied.
a little bit more experience in this stage, but Pika Pals can definitely just get through the stage a lot faster than Meekins, depending on how well the stage clicks with Pika Pals. So there's definitely plenty of room for lead change and lead change again and lead change yet again.
I definitely love that, like, we do not know who is going to win at this point. And honestly, we're probably not going to know for at least another hour, possibly until the end of the match. Like, that's what the endurance round is all about, getting to see what people are able to make out of 2 hours instead of 1. And this is one of the games that, like, I felt was appropriately brutal. I love watching this game. Like, the art direction in this, there's so much cute art. Meekins, how did you get hit?
Space Ace. When in doubt, Space Ace.
Yeah, hitboxes are a little cruel. Cruel man, cruel bird, cruel hitbox. Just all the cruel stuff.
I'm currently working on getting a full list of all the stages in this first section, just so I have a quick reference to look at for how many possible stages they have, because it could end up getting to the point where they've at least cleared every single stage in this first area once, and then they have to start making forward progress and clear them all in one go.
Yes.
If they want to keep making progress.
That is correct. They'll have to string the wins together. It's not important right now, but that will become important, especially in the last 30 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love sort of the MIDI-esque sound effects. By the way, thank you everybody for being here, and I do know that a handful of you showed up to the stream last night over on YouTube. I feel like that worked out pretty well. I'm glad that I gave that a shot, and I'll probably stream a little bit more there. Probably good games, Okami.
I mean, I saw you were doing Diablo 4.
Yeah.
I was occupied, so I couldn't see it, but...
Oh, that's all right.
I assume Diablo 4 qualifies as a good game, especially when we compare it to Space Ace.
Well, I mean, or compared to Diablo 3, yeah, I'd say that. By the way, I'm taking a look at the manual. There are some other hints and tips. Number 1, look out for areas that seem to have no apparent purpose. You never know, there may be something interesting nearby. Is that true at all, Okami? Do you know of any, like, hidden items or areas that could potentially help?
So you might see a few areas. It happens early on, for example, in Mountainside, where it looks like everything becomes pixelated for a second. If you jump in that area, you will find a hidden area with some secret items, sometimes including 1-ups.
Yes. And 1-ups are extremely helpful in this game. You want to extend the amount of time that you're playing as much as possible so you get experience. Yeah, without going and finding 1-ups, it can be pretty treacherous. And there we go, Meekins getting back to another level. I believe Meekins is trying to go back to the Barren Wasteland. No, Space Station Beta.
Space Station Beta. This is a new stage for Meekin. I went ahead and wrote down all the stages we've got in this beginning bit. So first we got the Mountainside, which they've both already done plenty. We have Space Station Alpha, which both the players have done. Then we have the Barren Wasteland, which let me actually write that down on my notepad right here, because unless I missed it while I was jotting down stuff, I don't think either of them cleared it.
I do not believe either of them did. There's just no time to react. Like, you're going to die.
Space Station Beta is probably a bit easier than Space Station Alpha, but yeah, you have to deal with a moving platform that will eventually start crumbling away. So yeah, we got Mountainside, Space Station Alpha, Barren Wasteland, Space Station Beta, which Meekins is on right now. We also have Power Tube, Industrial Ruin, and Energy Power Plant. And all those stages you're gonna have to get through in one go if you want to make it out of the space maze. So, because then you have to do the space maze as its own level, not just as a hub stage.
Meekins, you didn't jump last time, and this time you jumped too far. You got to jump exactly the right amount that the game wants you to jump. If you don't do that, then the game's disappointed.
Yeah, it's just that easy. How hard could it really be?
I love that. Also, it's impossible. Like, just judging how far you're supposed to jump, it takes a while in this game. Meekins, are you playing with the HUD? What are you doing?
Meekins has been doing that before. That's not the first time I've seen Meekins doing that.
I appreciate it.
Basically making the HUD dance to the music.
Okay.
You gotta entertain yourself somehow when you're just waiting for things to happen in this game.
But there
like
we
falling
go.
off of platforms.
Still, a good start when it comes to platforming here. Pika Pal's currently in the barren wasteland, running away from the pink things. Let me see, does the manual call them anything? I'll check it out.
You're the one with the manual, so don't ask me.
It is pinned in the channel.
Oh, fine then. I guess I'll go open
I mean, you
the
don't
manual.
have to, okay? Because I'm looking. There are various items and vehicles that you do eventually get to ride on in this game. There will be a... Let's see. The star pack is specifically where you are flying through the space maze, but there's also a flying saucer for the power tube. There are rocket skates for rocket skate maze. There's a motorcycle for a motorcycle maze, and there's an aqua boom for the underwater cavern. I know like one of those things.
You can say that this game at least has variety.
Oh yeah. So the various power-ups that you see around as well, you might not know that they're power-ups, but any of the spinning discs that are on the ground, those are what we consider the power-ups. So increasing laser power, that is the green disc. That means that your shots do more damage, only helpful for energize.
Yeah, you might notice the ESP meter on the HUD. That represents the 3 different power-ups. So I believe the E is energized, for example.
Yeah. Blue disc is faster sight. That means you can lock on while energizing quicker. Red disc, those are your time warps. If you do not collect any red discs, you cannot do the time warp to practice levels after getting a game over. And then finally, the white disc is the extra life. Knowing that there are extra lives is something that is really important. And there we go, Meekins into the pit.
Yeah, so the long play in the description provides a description of each disc. So the time warp is the E meter, faster sight is the S meter, and increased power is the P meter, according to the long play. So red, blue, and green disc, respectively.
Yeah.
All right, so since Meekins is here on the mountainside, we'll talk a bit more about that hidden area. So watch as the camera starts panning. I think once Borf, like right after Borf does the sweep after the camera starts panning.
Yeah, it gets pixelated here.
Right there. You saw that, right?
Yep, I've been seeing it pretty consistently, and I thought that has to be something from the game,
Yep,
and
that is the indication of the hidden areas there. So if one of the players were to jump there, and maybe they'll find that hidden area. I don't know if they will, though, within the 2 hours, but...
Yeah, one of the hints and tips in the manual, by the way, tells you about that. It says, hint number 5, many levels contain secret areas. Watch out for quote-unquote spatial distortion, which indicates that the entrance to a secret area is nearby. It's up to you to work out how to get through, but bear in mind that only young Dexter is small enough to enter. Wait, you can't go in once you energize? That's dumb.
Well, I mean... it's probably more that those sections don't show up during the energized sections, because they're in set locations. So.
By the way, extra lives are awarded at 500,000 points, 1 million points, and every million points after. So actually getting a good score could potentially make you play a little bit longer, but that, again, is something that, like, I don't think we've seen very high scores.
Yeah, it doesn't help that the more time you spend in the Space Maze section, you can notice that Meekin's score is consistently going down by 500 points, like, each second. So if you want to get a high score, you can't spend much time in the Space Maze.
Yeah, that might just be, like, a score that you get from the maze, and it's not actually your total score. But it's something that I would at least be taken into consideration. Generally, people in the speedrunning community do not care about score that much. Score attacks are something that can be done, though, and something that I think that can be really interesting. Heck, we've had score attacks over on Don't Make Us Bored.
The Meekins is probably confused because they went straight through a portal and it did not take them to another stage. At least the purple portal, because you might notice there's a green portal.
Yes.
That's actually healing. So if you need to heal your ship, you can cross over one, you can heal back up.
So what does the purple one do?
Purple ones are supposed to be entrances to stages, but sometimes you go through one and it doesn't let you through. Sometimes because you've already cleared the stage, or just because the game hates your guts. It could be any number of reasons.
Yeah, my guess is that would be something that maybe unlocks after you clear all the other stages in this area. And then you'd be able to move on to the next set of levels.
Also possible.
Yeah. That's my best bet when it comes to Space Ace. This game is extremely difficult. I don't want to underemphasize that. Considering that there are like no continues, limited lives, and you have to go through every single level that's sort of an auto-scroller with death around every corner here. Meekin's just trying to dodge. Oh my gosh.
I think both players have gotten...
Sometimes you gotta jump!
I think Meekins thought that entire platform was going to crumble, but no, only half the platform crumbles.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of the things in here, you are going to die the first time that you get to them, though. That's just the nature of this game. It is memorization heavy, and I don't think that most people would consider that good game design, but it certainly is game design. Meekin says that they don't like that I Want to Be the Guy games.
I cannot blame Meekins for something like that. And I Want to Be the Guy, I believe, also benefits from making steady progress. Like when you have a checkpoint, you don't hold much risk of having to go back. You're just permanently at that checkpoint. You don't have that luxury here in Space Ace.
Yeah.
Although both the players have gotten very far into their respective stages, so
yeah, Pika Pals has figured out that really annoying jump in order to avoid the chompy bird. Yeah, so that's really good to see. Like learning where you're supposed to jump and how you can angle jumps in order to avoid falling to your death. That is. Yeah, Pika Pals, again, finding another jump right there that's just very, very difficult to do.
Pika Pal is electing to not energize. I think this is right at the end of the stage for Meekon.
Far out!
This is the end of the stage, so...
There we go! Space Station Beta is cleared.
That's a third stage cleared for Meekins. The Meekins holds on to the lead.
Yeah, I also like the comparison to I Want to Be the Guy because you literally are trying to regain your manhood here. You're trying to be the guy. You want to be the guy, and the guyness was taken away from you.
Dex really wants to be the guy. I'm so sorry, Dex. All right, so I wonder what stage Meekins is going to find their way into next. Portal there. Meekins trying to go into the portal, and the game's like, no. Oh, I don't know if we've really pointed this out about the space maze. There's also a button to boost if you want to go faster in it.
Yeah, in fact, the manual in the hints and tips says to speed up the linking sections, aka the hub world, aka the space maze, simply keep a button held down. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Simply hold a button.
It's so simple.
Oh, by the way, there actually is apparently a quote-unquote best ending, and you reach that by getting a rating of ace on every single level. What does that mean?
So you have to basically learn how to perfect the game.
Not
because
only that, but you have to energize.
Yeah, you have to energize as well. Which, let's talk about scoring for a bit when you energize, because it's kind of dumb. You'd think that oh, you just have to energize and take out all the enemies, and that's how you get the best score. It's as simple as that. No, you can beat the enemies too fast and get a worse score because of that.
Yeah, not energizing, though bad for your ratings and score, can simplify a level significantly. That's one of the hints as well in the manual, that essentially the mechanic to become buff actually slows down and makes the gameplay harder. I just love that, Okami. At the same time, I sort of approve of games having optional harder difficulty. It just doesn't seem intuitive. Uh-oh.
Yeah, real quick, we've got a new stage on Meekins, the Power Tube. Which is, gameplay's a little bit different than what Meekins might be used to for the main stages. Wonder if we're gonna get some complaining from Meekin in a bit here. But this might be maybe one of the easier stages. I feel like a stage like this wouldn't have as many gotchas because it's basically a vertical shmup.
Yeah, Kimmy! Yeah,
Kimmy!
This is literally a space shooter where you can just die. This is the hard
part, though, having to try to transfer over to a different lane.
Yeah, I would be using the level practice in order to just give it another shot. Like, if you have any of the time warps,
Meekins has time warp, so is going to have some chances to get the hang of this level and how exactly it plays out. Yeah. Which is going to be good, because I think the hardest part learning this stage is learning how exactly to transfer, because you look, I look at that, like, kind of brighter area.
It looks like it's the only place that's a wall, but it's the only place that's not a wall.
Yeah. The area that Meekin was trying to transfer lanes over, that's what looks like a safe space to transfer over, but no, it's the exact opposite of what it looks like to me. Anyways, Pika Pal is having to go back through the mountainside. I did not see them get through the barren wasteland, so they'll just have to reattempt that or some other stage. See what they find.
Yeah. Get me! You're trying. Get me! Ah!
Higgins might be getting a bit tilted. Wasn't able to clear that stage with any of the time warps they had, so it's back to the start for Meekins as well. That was still a good run for Meekins because they were able to get through Space Station Beta and get that stage banked.
Yeah, I will go ahead and say somebody is comparing this to gotchas, and let me just say, you don't have to spend extra money on this game every time that you try. So I would say that even though, you know, that these are, like, this game is unfair, it's not stealing money from you. It's just making it so that you're probably going to have to go back to Blockbuster and rent it again.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless you're renting it from, like, a Blockbuster or something.
But whatever. It's like, what, $3 to rent it? $5?
Like,
that's better than buying it.
Like a quarter to get an extra continue in the arcade version.
Yeah, trust me.
The arcade version is also
this,
much shorter than the Super Nintendo version.
Oh, really?
The arcade version, if you do everything perfectly, is like probably like 10 minutes.
Hello, David TKI. Good to see you in chat. David TKI is somebody who has played in Kusog7ande and also does speedruns over at GDQ, and did a run of Stair Quest, which we had in Kusog7ande, and I'm just really, really happy.
Stair Quest.
Yeah.
Stair Quest is an absolute classic.
It was at the last GDQ, Okami.
Ooh, neat.
Yeah.
I may have to go take a look at that.
You should. It's ridiculous. It's such a good run.
Unfortunately, I missed a good majority of the runs. I did see part of the blindfolded run of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, there are a lot of good runs. By the way, David is correcting me and saying I've never played in Kusog7ande. I just assume everybody has played by this point. Because
this is Percenture's way to get you to sign up for Kusog7ande when those sign-ups drop.
Maybe you should make this moment true, you know? Turn me into a not liar. Towards the end of Kusog7, we will have signups for the next Kusog7ande. So everybody watching who wants to play, we will announce.
I thought we were already towards the end of Kusog7.
This is only round 6 of the losers bracket. We have like We do not
after
have
today's-
much left.
Yeah, after today's matches, I believe we have 6 matches left in the tournament, and one of them is going to be happening tomorrow.
At midnight Eastern. Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one to watch.
We're going to be sleepy delusional tomorrow night. I want everybody to know.
I'm on the West Coast. It's going to be prime time for me.
Oh, well, good.
Watching.
Good. Yeah. Mr. Grabby Hands, no.
I was joking with one of the players in that match because I'm a regular in their streams. Like, yeah, I'm going to be like one of the least delusional people probably because I'm on the West Coast. So I'll just be the one to give you a game as just a surprise game master. No.
Aha! But yeah, just so you know, everybody watching, the grand prize this year is $60 of generally a $60 Steam card so that people can go and buy a new game that they would like, as well as $500 cash, because there are very few tournaments in speedrunning that give away cash prizes, and I wanted to be one. I wanted this to be one where people can actually get something. And we also give out a movie to all of the players in the bracket. With that said, thank you to everybody who has subscribed and who has helped supported. I'm at the point where I will maybe be able to buy the prizes without having to, like, eat dirt for a month. Maybe.
Out of curiosity, how's progress on Poulter's Trophy going from last year?
Hey, I made the 3D model. It's Corndan's job
Nice.
to get that wrapped up, okay?
That wasn't even like taking a jab at you. That was a genuine question.
I actually don't know.
Because I usually think some of the Kuso trophies, some of the ones that I've seen look really neat.
But yeah, you know the crappy model that does the transition on the screen?
Yeah.
That's the same model for the trophy.
Nice.
Yeah. Everybody, I do a little 3D rendering occasionally. It's not very fancy stuff, but a little bit, just as a treat, you know.
You mentioned speedrun events that are like races that give cash prizes. I think I did a tournament recently that you did have to pay money to enter, and all the winnings were basically crowdfunded, but it did have cash prizes for the winner. It was like, I think it was like 10% of the prize pool if you got third, 15% if you got second, and 75% of the prize pool if you got first was the split.
That's pretty dang good. I don't charge anybody to join Kusog7ande because I don't want to, and honestly, like, there have been people supporting here enough to make it fairly doable for me. At the same time, if anybody does want to help cover costs and make it so that Kuso8 has an even bigger grand prize, I would be more than happy to have that support. That would be fantastic. Yeah, but the good thing, like, Okami, I've got... one of the cool things is that with running the show over at GDQ, the Hotfix Grudge match, it's a paid gig that I've got going there. Not only that, but I've got 2 shows next week, and then the first week of July I have 2 shows. Like, that's really gonna help to cover stuff. I'm really excited.
Without spoiling stuff, if you don't want to, have games been decided for those shows?
Players have been decided for next week, but we haven't figured out the games quite yet. I was gonna do it before matches today, but that's because I thought matches were a little bit later. Welcome to my life, Okami. I forget stuff.
I forget stuff all the time. It's okay, bro.
Yeah, it's like...
I think I also heard something about there being like a special tournament for the GMs.
That's
I remember
right.
hearing something about that.
We had GM sign up. We've got most of the bracket figured out. I just need to finalize that. We'll probably get started maybe in a week or 2.
I'll be excited to see.
Yeah.
If you need somebody to give out games for that, just hit me up.
Okay, I'll talk to you, Okami. Meekins, by the way, is currently learning how to play this stage. I would
Meekins
wait.
is right at the end of the stage and died.
Well, I mean, sometimes you get greedy and then the bunnies get you. That's just life.
Sad days. But Meekins is on a good run. Pika Pals is doing Space Station Beta now, though, which is the same stage that Meekins has already cleared. So, see how long it takes Pika Pals to do.
Heck yeah! Oh my gosh, the big bunny's coming after you, Meekins. I don't know if, like, we call them bunnies, but I think their teeth are too sharp. Then again, do bunnies have sharp teeth? I like never have looked inside a bunny's mouth.
I couldn't tell you. I do not have a bunny. I sometimes see bunnies in my yard though. And that's always fun when I get to see that.
Yeah, bunnies.
So I think we're going to see Meekins clearing this stage they're on pretty soon, which will be impressive because I think Pika Pals has been at the Barren Wasteland for a while. So if Meekins is able to clear it pretty quickly, that'll be very impressive.
I will say one of the big props that I have to give to this game is that it actually does allow you to remap all of the buttons except for the D-pad and the start button. Maybe even, I'm not sure about select, but like you can customize the controls however you see fit. While we are playing on emulator here, that's something that like should have been more common in the Super Nintendo era, and I appreciate them doing that for this game.
Yeah, I think I saw that on that's something that I think I saw pretty often in the Super Nintendo era was more customizable controls. Since you do have a lot more buttons to work with, so not every game is going to use every button, or depending on what the defaults are, it may be a little bit hard to remember. Like, most people who play Super Metroid, for example, they'll change the controls because by default the fire button is on X, which not a lot of people are a fan of, so a lot of people I know who played Super Metroid like to rebind that to Y, for example.
Yeah, but the bad thing about Super Metroid is that it has 2 or 3 layouts hard-coded into the game, and you can't just remap however you want. Double death!
No, only one death.
Oh, Meekins
cleared the stage.
Is that a lead for Meekins then?
That is the lead extended for Meekins because unless I missed something, by my count, Meekins has cleared 4 stages. Pika Pals has cleared 2.
That is fantastic. By the way, the developer of this game, Oxford Digital Enterprises, they worked back. Their first game was Macbeth on Commodore 64. They did Hunt for Red October for DOS. They did a lot of games that I haven't heard about, and this was their last game before they were taken over, I believe, in 1993. Empire Oxford sort of took them over, and yeah, I don't know what they did.
I see chat's talking about how Super Metroid can be rebound completely. Another example of a game where in the Super Nintendo era where I oftentimes see people rebinding controls is Mega Man X.
Wait,
because anybody who's played Mega Man X knows that the dash button is on A, jump is on B, and fire is on Y by default. So it's not exactly the most comfortable for everybody to have a formation like that. So oftentimes I'll see somebody binding the dash button to either R or L.
I didn't think that you could rebind everything in Super Metroid. I thought that they had specific layouts, but I could be mistaken. It's been a hot minute. Yeah. Mega Man X, you put dash on the R shoulder button. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you run.
I've done Mega Man X both ways, with R being dash and also with A being dash, because I've definitely had to do some... There was a tournament that I was doing where one of the games that we rolled was Mega Man X, and we had a save state for it, and the save state basically put us at the start of the Sigma stages, but dash was mapped to A by default, so that was one instance of, like, I'm gonna have to get used to A dashing, which I'd done enough, so adapting to that wasn't too hard, even if it's not my preferred control scheme.
I feel like I might have to use a claw grip if I were using A for dash. That or like just curl my index finger around so that I can like tap it with my nail.
Get the Super Nintendo fight stick out from Mega Man X.
Right, yeah, good ideas. You know what?
Right, so,
the music is
like
kind of cheesy in this, but I kind of like it. It's rocking.
To stop you for a bit, Pika Pals has cleared Space Station Beta.
Very nice. Back to the mountainside, that's fine. Are you sure that was a clear?
It looked like it was a time warp clear.
Oh, okay, time warp clear counts. Yeah, I have told the players, time warp clear counts, they will get the thumbs up there. Pika Pals can go and try some of the other levels. Meekins into this nightmare.
Yeah, Meekins is into another stage. I'm actually pulling up the VOD because I was trying to catch if Pika Pals beat Barren Wasteland, and I just glanced over the VOD and I saw like, oh, they immediately went back to Mountainside, so probably not. But then I'm like, oh, maybe they time warped now that you mentioned that, so I'm checking the VOD to see if they were actually able to beat Barren Wasteland.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh no! Meekins has been devoured! Game over. I love the sort of tuba sound when you get game over. It's beautiful. I guess it's more trombone, yeah. But yeah, the person who made the music for this was their first game. They also did Magic Boy for Super Nintendo, Yogi Bear on Genesis, and
Magic Boy.
Civil War for DOS, and that's it.
Magic Boy, I remember. That was a game I had to play for Kuso.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the New Game Plus round, so it wasn't from the start of the game. I remember that match mainly because that was like the one match where it was like, where the game was handed to us, and I'm like, I have a copy of this game. It's too bad I haven't played it yet. If it was a match that was from the start of the game, I definitely would have considered just popping in my cartridge and playing the game like that. Okay, so looking at the VOD when Pika Palace was attempting Barren Wasteland, it looks like they weren't taking advantage of the time warps, because they were prompted to time warp, but they elected to go back to the Barren Wasteland. So I don't think
back to the mountainside.
Yeah, I don't think Pika Palace cleared Barren Wasteland then.
Meekins opted to Energize, which I believe this is one of the few levels where Energize is actually a little bit easier to get through.
Meekins lost their manhood, though, from getting shot in the crotch.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I don't know. Do you get shot in the crotch on a regular basis, bro?
Nope.
Enlighten me.
No.
You make it sound like you know all about this. Ooh.
I know nothing about this.
So one thing I saw Pika Palace doing in the Space Maze was pause strats. Which pause strats have already helped Pika Palace in one match, because I believe pause strats pulled Pika Palace to victory in Tiny Toon Adventures earlier in the tournament with the roller coaster stage.
I believe you're correct. Yeah. With that said, Tiny Toon Adventures, the pause strats were like not super reliable at helping, but I think that they helped some.
It helped some, and maybe also with learning the layout of the stage, because I think something like the roller coaster stage in Tiny Toon, it's a lot easier to learn the layout of a stage like that compared to the Space Maze here in Space Ace.
Yeah, oh, Meekins unfortunately not strong enough to kill that enemy quickly. That's
also,
fine.
We're at an hour. We're all free from space. Oh, wait.
No, we've got 60 minutes left. We've got another hour. Everybody, this is the endurance round where the players have 2 hours to try to take the victory. And, you know, neither player knows where the other player is, but I think they should feel rather confident that the other person is struggling. That's just how this game goes. This is a very, very difficult game. And it's... I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a good game design, just because it's very, very, very cruel. considering how often Meekins is dying to these. Yeah. Okay, Meekins trying one more time warp. I think, like, just trying to figure out which route is the way to go. Do I energize or do I not energize? Which way is going to be my way to win?
To make sure, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Okami?
Hello?
Okami!
Hello?
Oh my gosh!
I got hoisted by internet for a second there.
Are you here now?
I don't know, am I here now?
Like, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I don't know if you can hear me. No, yeah, I'm back.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna kick your butt. Seriously?
Oh no!
Mm-hmm. Oh, do.
So unfortunately for Pika-Pow's found his way back to this stage, which, I mean, good for you if you can clear it again, but you've already cleared it once, so presently that's not going to do anything for you. I have to wonder if either of the players have something like a notepad opened up at this point, just to make some notes for some of the gotchas in the stage to help them memorize them. That's definitely something I would be considering for a 2-hour match like this, where I keep going back to the start of the game and a lot of the game's memorization.
Okay, Meekins is powering up. This might be a good idea in order to get some extra lives. And honestly, if you're going to experiment with getting higher points early on, or at least, well, okay, that's not the way to do it. I'd be resetting. I would not take a death on the first stage. I would reset.
I would also consider resetting. But, you know, it's Meekins playing the game. Meekins can do what Meekins wants to.
I mean, Meekins might also just be trying to, like, practice to see if Energize is worth doing on this stage.
Also true.
I think that it could be worth doing to, like, if you do manage to get a high enough score to get extra lives, or if there are extra lives towards the right side. But no, Meekins going to the left.
Yeah, Meekins is not bothering with the Energize.
Yeah.
Which I think, if I were playing this as a competitor for the first time, I think the way my train of thought would be going with something like Energizing is I would, first time I wouldn't be able to get Energized because I'd be like, what the heck is the button to Energize? I think eventually I would be able to Energize at least once, figuring out what the button is. I would probably see that Energize gets me, like, nothing, or it just extends the stage if I do it in something like the mountainside stage that Meekins was in, and then I just never Energize again. I feel like that's where my mindset would go if I was playing this for the first time in a race.
I just want to reassure both of them by saying they're both doing great, and by telling them that they are both doing great, that might actually make them stress out more, because I'm saying they're both doing great.
Yeah.
Gotta play some mind games with our players just a little bit, you know?
I don't know how each of the players are going to feel about how they're presently doing. Like, if they feel like they're doing good for this game, if they feel like they're doing terrible. I feel like they might be thinking that they're doing terrible because the high watermark right now that we're seeing after an hour of this game is 4 different stages cleared for Meekins, 3 for Pika-Pows.
That's honestly really good. Like, I don't think anybody, back when we had this last time as a 2-hour match, I don't think anybody cleared this many stages. And we're only, like, that was a 2-hour match as well. This is only an hour in, and we've seen that many cleared.
I'd say Meekins has also generally found more stages than Pika-Pows has, because we've seen Meekins in Power Tube. I think we've also seen Meekins in Energy Power Plant, not having cleared either stage yet, but...
Yeah, Meekin has been around in Kusog7ande for ages, though. Like, honestly, since the first Kusog7ande, Meekins has been playing, and is one of the few players who has been in, like, around since then. It's really cool. Meekins got eliminated by Author Blues in round 5 of the losers bracket, but, you know...
Ooh, what game?
Secret Scout in the Temple of Demise.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was... Kuso won. Everything in the losers bracket was either bootleg or unlicensed, and so yeah, there were some very special games.
I think Meekins is generally one of the most frequent players to see in brackets, both because of how long Meekins has been around and also how consistent of a player Meekins is.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that was a really good push. Meekin won, like, 2 or 3 matches in the original Kusog7ande. Didn't quite make it into the finals, but still made a very good push. Won several in Kusog7ande.
I want to see what Meekins had to play in Tuso if they had to play anything good.
I mean, we had Toy Story for SNES. That game you could actually argue is good. But also Flintstones Adventure for Atari 800, the one with the famous Wilma quote.
The one used, is that the one used in the swearing clip?
Yeah, of course it is.
I see Captain America and the Avengers, Xena for PS1, Bakaban.
I actually considered offering Bakaban, but I'm glad that Meekins would have been like another game that you have made me played before, and I'm like, okay.
So here's a let me make sure I'm not talking out of my butt here, and that I'm actually okay, no, never mind. I was looking at the bracket. Meekins in Tuso eventually did lose, get eliminated by Cards of the Heart, who, as I mentioned before, was one of the players who originally had to play Space Ace. Looking at this, it looks like Cards of the Heart fought Meekins right after playing Space Ace.
Yeah, and actually beat Meekins in that round. Like, Meekins reliably has made it very deep into the tournaments here, and I think
Pals.
What?
Like they both have.
Yeah. Pika Pals, on the other hand, I believe Pika Pals only started playing back in the third Kusog7ande, if I'm right. Okay. Pika, yep. Indeed, the first match being Captain Silver for Arcade, and nice. From what I see, got a score of 4. I think that means that Pika Pals won that match, and in the group stage, like, for your very first match, I'd say taking anything that other than 4th place is a good feeling. Taking first in group stage, that's really surprising.
Actually, to take things a step further, because back in Kuso 3 was when you had like a bunch of smaller groups for group stages, and basically 2 people from each group moved on to the bracket round. The other person in Pika Pal's group to move on was Meekin.
I just love it.
In the same group.
I love it, yeah. Pika Pal's actually got eliminated in his first tournament to Little Nicky for Game Boy Color.
The classic.
Oh, yeah. Get in the flask. I need a soundbite for that.
Such a wonderful game.
Oh, it is. No, it's not. It's so bad. It is so very bad.
I need to check the VOD again because I was a bit distracted by this, because I didn't catch a whole lot of Meekins push through a power tube, so I want to see Meekins was able to clear that really quick.
Yeah, Meekin, like, definitely played games alongside Pika Pals during the third Kusog7ande, Kuso 3, and got to experience Haunted Castle and Hardhead, some of the great classics that I love to see. But unfortunately, lost in Back to the Future Part 2 for DOS, and then it looks like won a match for the Flintstones, the movies for Super Nintendo. I don't really love that game. But then lost to Proton John and Super Hunchback for Game Boy.
Okay, so looking at the VOD, Meekins was able to clear Power Tube. So that is 5 stages done for Meekins as far as I can tell.
Oh, that is amazing. Very good job. For those who are wondering, by the way, we are an hour and 10 minutes into this match. This is the endurance round where the players have to play 2-hour matches. Now, Meekins actually had already done an endurance match in the winner's bracket and played Tactics Formula, but unfortunately lost. And I don't really blame Meekins. That wasn't really their style of game, but then again, a tactical turn-based racing game, whose game is that? Like, it's not really what you expect in Kusog7ande.
That seems to generally be what Hedge Mage specializes in, is games from genres that you wouldn't normally see. That seems to be Hedge Maze's main MO. Because the 3 games that Meekins...
Yeah, here's the deal. Meekins normally would be able to run into a wall and bounce back in order to go into that, but Meekins had no shields left, and thus was sort of just stuck going around in circles.
Yeah, I don't know if Meekins is going to be able to enter another stage proper, because Meekins is in time warp mode.
I don't think you can enter a stage, no.
Yeah, well, you might be able to enter a stage, but not actually do the stage that you enter.
Yeah. Whee!
But like, yeah, a lot of Hedge Maze's games have been a lot of stuff that's like not genres you would expect. I've gotten 3 games from Hedge Maze so far, and none of them have been really what I consider a pretty standard genre, because there was Tactics Formula. There was also the Horde for Saturn earlier this tournament, which is more of like a RTS sort of game. And then I think my last year I got Ghostbusters 2 for Atari from Hedge Maze, which I don't know what kind of genre you would describe that game as, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, by the way, thank you so much, Prince, for dropping some bits in chat as well as a gift sub. It's very much appreciated, and honestly helps to keep the prizes covered here. I very much appreciate the support that you and everybody else here is giving.
Meekins in the race chat saying, "I'm not sure what to do anymore. That won't take a year."
Yeah, well, we gave 2 hours to the players because they got to figure this out, you know. What do you do at this point? Meekins, I believe, has cleared either every level that they can access or almost every level, and at this point what they need to do is string a run together in order to get past the first area and move into the second hub world. Yeah,
I need to examine the VOD, because I did see Meekins in the energy power plant earlier, so if I hadn't already cleared that, I would have probably consider trying to go for that stage.
Was that the... Actually, yeah, I don't think Meekins has cleared that one. That one is very difficult.
Yeah, I'm checking to be sure I didn't miss that, because it's entirely possible that that's one that I missed. I'm looking through the VOD now. But if Meekins has cleared Energy Power Plant, there is still one other stage that Meekins has not seen, which is the Industrial Ruin. I don't think I've seen Meekins go there, and that's the only other stage that Meekins could probably do at this point. Because after Meekins gets Energy Power Plant and Industrial Ruin done, I think the next mark of progress would basically be trying to string it all together in one continue, which is doable, but that would be a tall order. Not just for Meekins to do to be able to make more progress, but also a very tall order for Pika Pals to be able to take the lead.
I mean, it's just hard for anybody, but you have to do that in order to make more progress in the game. Like, there's no other option. You have to get good at each individual level and then string a playthrough together to get through the first half of the game.
Of course, our players don't know that, so... Good luck to them.
I said the first half of the game, but I'm not completely sure if that's true. I
want to say that this beginning part with the Space Maze area counts as a little bit more than half, roughly, but
okay,
it's still a lot for sure.
Let me see. I'm looking up a guide here. Walk through. How many levels are there? Okay. It calls it level 2.
Once you can get to the Rocket Escape Maze, though, it starts to become a lot more linear. because there's like only one stage you can get to at a time.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say, everybody, if you're writing a game guide on game FAQs and the levels have names, do not put level 1, level 2, level 3.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to do in a game like this.
When it's non-linear?
Yeah, it's non-linear, so like, what counts as level 1? What counts as level 2? I don't know.
Yeah, what's your problem, game FAQs? What the crap?
I don't know what the writer of the guide knows either.
I mean, they played the game enough to write a guide. But apparently they didn't play the game enough to use their brain. Maybe they played the game too much. Who wrote this? The official CDI cheat. Oh, this is a CDI walkthrough. Why is it listed under Super Nintendo then?
Okay, so looking at the VOD, unless I did miss something, Meekins did not clear energy power plant at any point. I see Pika Powers is attempting the power tube. To get that stage under their belt. Meekins has to step away for a second, which you're here for 2 hours. If you guys step away to use the restroom, get water, or anything else,
yeah,
I mean, that's
we also
not a big deal.
sometimes do have games that can be a little bit taxing on your eyes, and honestly, stepping away is completely fine. Make sure that you are feeling okay, that you're hydrated. Pika Pal's trying to make this transition to the right side of the screen, and unfortunately,
missed the opportunity.
I just love that, like, you cannot get it at the last minute. If you do not get it in, like, the first 2 opportunities to move to the right side of the tunnel, you're just dead. There's no chance.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen Pika Pals at the power tube either, so they may have to start learning the same thing that Meekins learned of what's the area that you can transition across into, which looks like Pika Pals has figured that part out.
Yeah, this is also Bitrate Killer, the level.
I think of the stages that Pika Pals has not cleared yet, that Meekins has, which basically is Power Tube and Barren Wasteland. I think of those 2, Power Tube is going to be the easier one of the 2 to do.
Yeah, this one should go relatively quickly. Okay, we've got the Stompy boys on Meekin's screen.
Once again, taking advantage of those pause strats.
Yeah.
To be able to move over a lane.
You know, it's nice to actually have a level in this game that, like, feels like a game. Like the tube, because that's not very common in this game.
Having a vertical shmup that doesn't make you motion sick, like the Space Maze does.
Yeah, Meekins is back and getting into it. Unfortunately, Pika Pal's taking a death in the tube, but
was doing pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, Pika Pals could clear it this time, and that would count per our metric. Even if you beat it during the time warp, I will allow it and consider it beaten.
This is however going to be Pika Pal's last shot before having to go back to the start of the game. So, you better make this one count.
Indeed. Okay, I'm trying to find any sort of, like, walkthrough on this game. Their Game Genie codes.
I found a long play, which is what I've been kind of using to reference things.
Yeah. You know, I'd say that, like, out of all of the games that are based on Don Bluth movies, like, this one is definitely bad and cruel, but, like, I think the art is fun. I think that they just didn't have great game design, but at the same time, you're trying to do something goofy based off of a cartoon and keep a lot of the difficulty from the arcade. And the arcade games are just brutal.
So, to the contrary, bro, have you seen the Dragon's Lair game for Game Boy Color, the one that was done by Capcom?
Like, are you talking about the one that was technically a roller coaster game, or?
I'll link you the one that I'm talking about in DMs.
Yes, please do.
I'll also link it in chat for people to see, because I think that game, considering they were trying to basically emulate the Dragon's Lair game and port it to Game Boy Color, I think they did a really good job with that one. Like, it doesn't really look good, but for a Game Boy Color game, I'd say it looks pretty solid.
I appreciate that Meekins is trying to do the power plant stage right now. This is the one that Meekins has to learn how to beat. And if Meekins can do that, then they can string together an attempt of several levels and possibly just solidify a victory here. Like, if you can get to the second hub area of the game, you're probably going to win this match.
This far into the game, getting to the second hub area, I think is going to be a good way to solidify the win. Even then, if Meekins can clear both the energy power plant and industrial ruin stage, which I don't think Meekins has found yet. Maybe they did and I just missed it. But if they can clear both those stages, their next point of progress is going to be getting all those stages done in one go, and then progressing through the space maze as its own level. So that's going to be a hard lead to topple.
Yeah, I'd actually say what Meekins should probably be doing here, like, shooting the enemy, obviously a good idea, but, okay. Energizing and then just dodging, that was the right move.
I think Meekins has a good idea. Because when I was looking at the VOD to make sure whether or not Meekins had beaten this stage, it looked like they weren't energizing, and they were basically on like one lane, and there were two enemies coming at them that were really hard to avoid. So if they can avoid having to deal with them at all by energizing might be the way to go with a stage for Meekins.
Yeah. So I am seeing, by the way, in the space maze, you did talk about ways to regenerate your shield with the green portal. That actually takes some of your score away, though, so, use it conservatively. Meekins doing the energized section in this level again, which I do think is technically easier than the other route. One thing to keep in mind as well is that you do get weapon upgrades as you're going through this, but, like, weapons are so infrequent in this that, like, I don't think either player's really considering, hey, let's go ahead and get weapon upgrades and try to do this.
I feel like if Meekins thinks that they can commit to this route and just completely avoid those enemies that were giving them the business earlier, which it looks like might be entirely the case.
Why?
Meekins in the match chat, no, my plan!
I love it. I do think that is the right approach here. However, how do you even deal with the green guys? Like,
I think you have to make a very precise jump. Looking at the layout of where Meekins died there, if they were to run far enough ahead, because there's a isolated platform that looked like they could jump on. If they could jump on that before the enemy really spawns in, that could end up being a safe space for them, but that's going to involve probably a few more runs of the stage before being able to commit to that safely. Oh, Meekins is back to this. Which I think might be a better call in a way.
I think you just need to like grind out attempts against the green guys and see if you can find the perfect jump.
And it's easier to get to them if you don't energize. And like, Meekins might be in the position of feeling like, okay, if I energize, it might be a bit easier to do it this way, but I still have to deal with one of those green guys, so there's no point in having to go through all that just to get destroyed by one of them. So yeah, I want to grind out some attempts on them on this easier path, so that way I know how to get past them.
That's definitely the right call here. Figuring out when and where you're supposed to jump in order to avoid getting hit by them.
Yeah.
But it's
either if they
doable.
Can at least get a few dodges under their belt and take the energizing path, or if they were to able to consistently be able to do it, just take the non-energizing path at that point. Either which way, taking the non-energizing path for right now, I think is a good play by Meekins for the sake of learning the stage.
I think that is correct. I would agree. No, Meekins getting killed by the auto-scroller! Don't you hate when the basic game mechanic kills you? I love that every level in this game is an auto-scroller. Every single one. Not only that, but they're like not very straightforward auto-scrollers. The camera moves one direction and then it's like, haha! Go this
most
other
people
way.
complain about auto-scrollers in games. I think this is one case where they're gonna complain about auto-scrollers for a completely different reason than they normally complain about them for.
Yeah,
I think
auto-scrollers are...
House is making a good push through the power tube, though.
Usually people complain about auto-scrollers because they end up being somewhat boring. This one is not boring, it's just BS. Yeah, you have to jump, Meekins. You cannot just stand there and expect the guy to not eat you.
Pika Pow's cleared power tube.
Very
stage for Pika.
nice.
So, assuming I haven't missed anything, I'm probably going to ask the racers once the race is done to see if whether or not we missed anything. But by my count now, they've both cleared... Pika Pow's has cleared 4 stages: Mountainside, Space Station Alpha, Space Station Beta, and Power Tube. Meekins has cleared those stages as well, plus Barren Wasteland. So, if Pika Pow's is able to clear Barren Wasteland, we will be at a tie. And then whoever can clear either Energy Power Plant or Industrial Ruin, I think at this point of those two, the more likely one to see a clear for is Energy Power Plant. The first one to clear one of those at that point will be in the lead.
Far out.
Let's see if Pika Pow's can find a stage they have not done yet. Meanwhile, Meekin's also getting back into the space maze.
Yeah, the thing is, if Pika Pals can clear one more stage, it essentially ties it up and then begs the question, who has cleared the most stages in a single attempt?
Yeah. Are we going to be trying to use that metric then? How many stages?
That's the secondary metric. If they do get tied and have cleared the same number of stages at the hour mark, then whoever has cleared the most in a single attempt is the winner.
Okay.
And at this point, with about 30 minutes left or so, I think the players should be taking into consideration maybe now is the time to get the secondary objective solidified, just in case the other player struggles exactly like I did, which is how it's going.
I unfortunately haven't really been keeping track of who's gotten more stages done in a single attempt, so we'll cross that bridge, I guess, when we get there. Meekins is taking another swing at the energy power plant.
I think that at this point in the match, that is the right call. Go ahead and try this. This is one stage that you haven't cleared, and clearing it is going to be more important than clearing stages in a single attempt.
I think Meekin's priority right now is going to be clearing the energy power plant, because if you're tied at this point, sure, you could take the lead, you could solidify the lead by clearing a bunch more, by clearing more stages in one go than your opponent, but, if you're already tied, then that's null and void if you can just clear the stage right here and now.
So what I bet is that Meekins is chilling here, just really taking into consideration, what do I want to do? Is it a good idea to just try to power through this, do the platforming? They may even be consulting the manual to see if there's any information about what to do here, which there's not.
I wouldn't imagine there would be information in the manual about something like this, because it's basically how to get past a hazard in a stage. So, but it doesn't hurt to check at least, especially looking and seeing if you have a timer running, or if Crappy lets you know you got half an hour left. You gotta start thinking about what you want to do with that last half hour in the match.
Oh yeah. Okay, Pika Pals. Still doing the space maze. I believe that was a death. Meekins just trying to get back in this and jump to avoid the enemy. I think you really have to get towards the bottom of the route and jump towards the right as they're jumping towards you.
Yeah, my line of thinking is that while they're landing on the ground, that's the timing for when you have to jump over them. That's where my line of thinking goes with, something like this.
Have you seen the long play for how they cleared this?
I can look over to that and take a quick look.
Yeah, take a glance.
I still have it pulled up in a tab.
Heck yeah.
And I mean, they're going to take the energizing route, but no matter what, they're going to have to pass by the, the long play just jumps over them. As a matter of fact, it looks like that one enemy that got Meekins after the energized section.
Yeah.
That is the last hurdle in that stage.
Are you serious?
Yes.
So all you have to do is learn how to jump over one of them, and then once you know that, you can do it.
Yeah. If Meekins is able to jump over one of them, then they have the tools to beat the stage.
Yeah. Question, how do they line it up in the long play? Do they go near the bottom of the platform?
I'll link you it with a timestamp in DMs in a second here.
Oh my gosh.
URL at current time. There you go.
I mean,
and also for chat.
Yeah, but I want to... okay, I'll go ahead and take a look. I just am going to try to like not accidentally...
It looks like it's they try to jump over the monster as it's landing on the ground.
Okay, let me take a look. Yeah, essentially it has to be towards the end of its jump cycle so that you are at the top of your height right when the monster lands on the ground. And you have to be walking to the right. Meekins got it!
Got one.
Oh, and
Meekins
got a second
another
one! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh.
So Meekins now has all the tools they need to clear the stage, and I think they are going to clear the stage on this attempt. Nope, not quite. But Meekins knows they can clear that jump now.
Yes, this is doable. I would still, like, now that I know sort of what I have to do, I would probably move to do the energized section here and then just try to get the final hurdle here, because I know that I can do energize.
I would probably consider that as well. Meekins not going for that maybe feels like they're not consistent enough with it, and it feels like this pathway is also a bit quicker in general, because you basically have those two monsters that you jump over, and then after that, that's it. The paths merge at that point. That's also enjoying something we haven't really commented on during this. It sounds like you're getting hurt when you land from a jump.
I mean, honestly, jumping takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, I mean, have you tried to jump in real life?
Have I tried to jump in real life? Oh my gosh. I mean, yes, I have. I have actually jumped in real life. I can confirm that jumping is something I have done. Now, Pika Pals, I believe getting another game over there. Meekins still not quite figuring out how to get that jump consistent, and that's the biggest difficulty here. People are asking if I have jumped higher than I am tall. Absolutely not.
All right, so back to the... Oh, right, Meekins has Time Warp, so they will have a few more attempts at the PowerPoint here.
Meekins is a little bit sad that their rating was Space Cabbage, but honestly, cabbage is great. Come on, you use it in like pot stickers. Yeah, kimchi. Use it on a lot of tasty stuff. Come on, cabbage is great. Don't bash cabbage. Okay.
One jump, two jumps.
Very nice.
One last jump that Meekins has to make, and that's going to be another stage bank for Meekin.
Yeah, if Meekin can get this stage in the bag, then that technically was an extra life, but it's not going to help because this is the time warp.
Yeah, I don't know how. It's not going to help at all in this scenario, but that is another stage cleared for Meekin. Energy PowerPoint has been banked for Meekin now.
Yeah, I do appreciate Meekin's like, did I actually clear that stage? The answer is far out.
Far out.
But yes, absolutely.
Oh, far out.
Wow! if other people have good sound effects, by the way, I'm just adding a few to our Discord soundboard every once in a while because I think they are pretty funny. And you are more than welcome to add stuff that is relevant here. Meekin's back to the level select. I think Meekins is thinking, oh, maybe if I go back here, I can get into another level. But
yeah, I don't know if Meekins has seen Industrial Ruin, which is the one stage that they could still clear. Immediately crashes into a space orb.
That's fine.
Oh, but they had that time warp thing anyway, so...
Yeah.
But Meekins is probably going to be considering taking this attempt and probably the next one if they have enough time to do an attempt to try to push through as many stages as they can in one go.
Yeah.
Which is a fair play if you don't think there's any more stages. I mean, if they've seen Industrial Ruin, they may try to find that stage, but we'll just have to see. And clearing many stages in one go is still going to be some solid progress. And Meekins is saying they're not sure if they can make any more progress, so I guess now is going to be seeing how many they can clear in one attempt.
Yeah, I'm just giving them the reminder that the secondary tiebreaker metric is how if they have cleared the most stages in a single attempt. I think Meekins forgot that. I have it pinned in the channel, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because...
Oh, JK, I do not have it pinned in the manual. Or in the channel. That's okay, because I do have...
You just ping them. You can probably just, like, end that if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I pinged them, but honestly, I think that... yeah, I did tell them, and Meekins replied to me right after that. So, like, that should be something that they were aware of, and if they didn't catch that, then I'm going to go ahead and say it's their fault. I did not pull up Rosentia. What are you talking about, Chiron? Far out.
You didn't pull up Rosentia, then who the heck are you?
I did nothing wrong. Pika Pal's getting past one of the monsters, but getting devoured by the next one. That is the typical life here.
I think Pika Pal's is going to, since Meekins is going to be likely making a push to clear as many stages as possible, I'm going to start another thing in this document for, at least for starting now. Trying to keep track of how many stages they clear in a single attempt. So Meekin's at 1 currently for this attempt.
Yeah, but I still think Pika Pal's, is Pika Pal's 2 levels behind when it comes to clearing stages?
Yes, Pika Pal's has to clear this stage, and I believe they have to clear the Barren Wasteland as well. I'm still going to keep track in case Pika Pal's did clear Barren Wasteland and I just missed that, because if that's the case,
that is a good idea.
Because I don't think I've seen Pika Pal's go to the Barren Wasteland recently, so I feel like there's one of 2 reasons you wouldn't do that, because you feel like you can't clear it in a reasonable amount of time, or because you've already cleared it and don't want to go back there, or just luck the draw with where you end up. So...
Yeah, well, Meekins is going and revisiting levels at this point, and that's definitely a decent idea. This is what you want to be doing during the last bit of this, just stringing together the best attempt that you can. Because you don't really know if the other player has cleared more stages than you. Also, one thing to note, you're not seeing the shadow on Meekin's screen. I believe that it flickers at about 30 hertz on 30 hertz, or it's a whatever. If you're streaming at 30 frames per second, you're going to see it either be solid or have it completely gone. Meekins is seeing a flickering shadow. We're just not seeing it. So the shadow is very important when it comes to platforming in this game, so that you can actually line yourself up with the platforms, you know where you're going to go and where you're going to land.
Okay, so update. I was just skimming through the VOD, and it does turn out that Pika Pals has in fact beaten Barren Wasteland before.
Okay, thank you so much. So it just means Pika Pals needs to clear this power plant, and then it'll be tied up.
If Pika Pals is able to clear the power plant, which I think they're going to be able to, we may have to do a VOD review for this match, because I have not been keeping track of how many stages they've gotten through in a single run. I've been more focused on how many different stages they've been able to clear, but I'm starting to track that now, at least for Meekins, who has cleared what they probably feel like is every stage they possibly could.
Yeah, Pika Pals is just having the same problem with these green monsters that Meekins had, and I don't really blame Pika Pals. It's just kind of BS for dodging. You just really cannot visually tell where the hitboxes are, and that, I'd say that's possibly the biggest crime of this game. You just have such a hard time telling. But once you're able to like reliably get past different areas here, it becomes a lot easier. You know, you just first time playthrough of this game, it feels like an exercise in frustration. Oh, Pika Pals passed those two enemies. Let's see.
So if Pika Pals can jump past this last one, then we will be at a tie for a number of stages cleared.
And there we go. Pika Pal's getting the extra life, but this is the time warp, I believe.
So unless one of them manages to find and clear Industrial Ruin, we are at a dead tie currently. So it is going to presently come down to whoever can clear more stages in a single attempt.
Yes, so that is what I would be focusing on as a player. I do not know if I'm tied, but I would probably assume those are all the levels I was able to find, and I would probably be, like, it would be in my best interest to just go and string together one good run.
Currently what I'm doing is I'm looking back at the VOD starting from the hour mark and seeing just how many stages each player clears on a fresh run after that.
Yeah. Now, mind you, we can go ahead and have the players clarify for us as well, because they probably have a better idea of how many they have cleared in a single attempt. But, as we know, Meekins did not pay attention to what I said in Discord for the criteria for tiebreaker, because I spelled it out there. And I got a reply from Meekins immediately after, so I know that, like, Meekins was looking at the Discord while that message was on the screen.
Yeah, and that means Meekins probably has not been keeping track of how many stages they've been able to clear in a single run, which is, fair enough. So, let's see here. Run I'm currently looking at from the VOD that Pika Pals is on is still going with 3 stages cleared. So let me see if they're able to clear a 4th one in this attempt that I'm currently skimming through.
Yeah, if so, Pika Pals could potentially be in the lead. I don't know if Meekins has cleared more than 2 in a single attempt. Which, to be fair, this game is really, really hard. You're not seeing lasers on Meekins' screen, by the way. That's just because we're seeing it in 30 frames per second, not 60. I'm going to go ahead and blame Twitch for that one.
Okay, so the run that I was just looking at for Pika Pals looks to be 3 as the high watermark. There might be a higher attempt later on, because currently skimming through the VOD, I'm at like the hour 20-minute mark.
Gotcha. Cool, thank you for all the help. By the way, we have a lot of helpful volunteers and GMs. Okami is a player this year, but strangely loves this game. And, I love this game as well. I think that this game is highly flawed, but very compelling, very interesting.
Well, also, my boyfriend has a hatred for this game, so...
Oh, perfect. I love it.
I definitely let him know when I got the list of games for my gauntlet. I'm like, you're not going to like one of the games that's in this gauntlet. Because one of them was Space Ace. And it was one of the motion sick mazes. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But everybody, if you're here watching, don't worry. We have one more match after this. It's going to be around the Phantom of the Crappera. Essentially, it is a quote-unquote horror game. That's the theme of that round. Whether or not it's actually scary is another thing. I mean, last time we had Rocky Horror. That's not exactly the scariest game in the world.
Alright, so it's looking like, I think I can fairly safely say that the high watermark for Pika-Pow so far is 3 stages in an attempt, at least looking at the VOD. So, now, if somebody in chat could, while I'm skimming through the VOD here, if somebody in chat could be keeping track of how many stages they'd be in an attempt going forward from here, that would be great. Thank you very much. Because I'm also now looking back to see how many stages Meekin has been able to clear in a single attempt. Because we know at the very least, they've hit 2. Because they've cleared the mountainside, and then they've also cleared some other stage to make progress. Meekin's clearing another stage here, though.
There we go. Okay, so that is 2 cleared in a single attempt. Let's see if Meekins can manage to get a 3rd. Because if so, that will at least solidify. Like, clearing 2 more stages could potentially be the run decider here. It could decide who is the victor today.
Which looks like Meekin's found another stage back to the Barren Wasteland.
The Barren Wasteland isn't too difficult as long as you know, like, 1 or 2 tricky jumps, you're usually going to be able to survive this. There are a few moments that, if you're not prepared for enemies popping out, you could potentially get hit, but there's enough reaction time, at least in this level, that you can usually at least remember where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. So, honestly, I think Meekins has a good chance of beating this level in 1 or 2 lives.
Right.
Pika-Pal's got devoured.
So, yeah, that looks accurate. That Meekin is currently sitting on 2 stages beaten, with this stage being their 3rd one if they're able to clear it.
Yep. And Pika-Pal's has cleared 3 stages in a single attempt before from what we've seen.
Yep.
Yeah. Meekin's doing very well on the Barren Wasteland, not getting killed so far. But again, everything is a one-hit kill, and you have to do the whole stage over again if you do die.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop tracking things from the VOD and just go by what I see on the screen right now. If we gotta review the VOD later, we gotta review the VOD later.
Yeah,
that's not a big deal. But currently, I believe we're sitting on 2 stages cleared for Meekins. I believe on this attempt, it's 1 stage for Pika-Pals.
Oh!
So, now let's see what can happen. Because
yeah, also energizing, while it sounds like something that would be powerful and beneficial in the game, energizing in this game actually gives you a different route through the level. It starts at a specific point, it ends at a specific point, so you can't just randomly carry energize to a different location, you know? It's going to either give you a shorter or a longer segment, but it's almost always more difficult and not beneficial. I do not recommend energizing in this game if you can help it.
Yeah, I would agree. Alright, so this is the end of the stage for Meekin, so, and they know how to do the stage already, so that is now, I believe, 3 stages in 1 attempt for Meekins and still going, so I believe now, Meekins can find another stage, enter it, and clear it. That's going to be a lead change.
Yeah.
Which is going to be crazy because we're an hour and 50 minutes into here. And Meekins has a good stockpile of lives.
Look at all those lives. If Meekins is able to do this, like, that's going to be huge.
The problem, however, is unless you've been charting out this space maze, the further you go into it, the harder it's going to get because there's less entrances that you're going to be able to take. So you're going to need to still keep a good eye out for, like, you're going to oftentimes find entrances that you've already gone to, and it's just going to be very irritating.
Oh, yeah. Pew, 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 pew,
Pew, pew, pew, pew,
pew,
pew,
pew.
pew.
No, pew, 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 pew.
All right, so this is an entrance for Meekin. If they can beat this stage that they've entered, the energy power plant again, Meekin's nemesis.
Yeah, Meekins, are you going to remember how to do the jumps? You've got 4 lives, and I would say that because I told them that anything that happens with time warps counts, that it would also count in this case.
If Meekins is able to beat the stage on this run, I'm fairly confident that's going to be a definitive lead for Meekins.
My gosh.
And they've already beaten the stage before, so they have the know-how to do it, and they've got the lives to take attempts at it. So let's see what happens here.
Very good jumps. Good. Yeah. Meekins has been good at lining up and figuring out when the jump is. Honestly, like, sound cues could potentially be helpful. That's an extra life, by the way.
An extra life on top of that.
Meekins.
And that is 4 stages now done for Meekins in this attempt, which should be a definitive lead change.
Everybody, this has been the last 10 minutes that we have seen a change from second to first for Meekins. I believe... well, at least... Like, it depends. At least we know Meekins is in the lead. Pika Pals has not cleared 4 stages in a single attempt.
I'm fairly certain Pika Pals is not. Maybe Pika Pals did, but right now I think it's safe to say that Meekins is in the lead.
Yeah, we will let Pika Pals correct us later if that is the case.
Yeah. With that said, though, Pika Pals is still on attempt, so I think this is going to be really, like, their last good attempt. The attempt that both our players are on currently.
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to make it count, and I haven't been paying attention to exactly how many lives Pika Palace has.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that I gave this game out. Like, Okami, there's some games that I feel are always a fun watch, and this is one of the games that, like, I know it's going to take over 2 hours to beat it. I know that it might take over 10 hours to beat this game. And it's always fun for me to see how people learn how to play this game and, you know, what ends up being the major difficulty for them. And, like, there's a lot of difficulty in this game. I'm not going to lie.
I can't wait to hear the player's opinion of this game when we bring them into call. Not too long from now. Alright, so this is clear for Pika Pals. I believe currently Pika Pals is sitting on 2 stages cleared.
For this attempt specifically,
for this attempt, yes. I don't know how many lives they have. Because they can definitely overtake Meekin's lead, but with the stockpile of lives,
I don't know if they
has
can.
A full stock of life. I think it's entirely possible for it to happen.
3 stages in 7 minutes?
It's possible. Pika Pals is entering another one right now.
It would be 2 stages, right?
Yeah, because so this next stage that Pika beats is going to put them on 3, which is going to tie them with their best attempt. The next one they beat is going to put them on 4, which will tie them with Meekin. And then if they can beat another stage after that, then they will take the lead over Meekin.
Because the stages are auto-scrollers that take a decent amount of time, and you have to find the stages, like, it...
Yeah,
I'm going to say, don't hold your breath. I don't know if it's possible, but I still would not stop. You know, Pika Pals does not know how well Meekins has done, and you should definitely keep pushing.
Yeah, I think Pika Pals, at the very least, has an attempt to be able to push to have a high watermark for themselves, which would still be good to see personal progress, even if it doesn't overtake Meekin's lead.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, getting a personal best right towards the end is likely what you want to do.
Technically, the other way that Pika Pals could win is if they get through the Industrial Ruin stage, because I don't think we've seen that stage in general. And if either player were to clear that stage, unless they had already cleared it and I missed it, that would be a lead for them no matter how many stages they've beaten in one attempt, because that would be one additional stage that they had cleared.
True.
So that is still technically on the table.
Yeah, and I think a couple of these levels have worked better for one player than for the other. I think a couple of the levels only took 1 or 2 attempts for some of the players to get through. Pika Pal's got to do the diagonal jump. There we go. Lovely. Meekins into Space Station Beta. This is going for, what is it, a 5th stage cleared?
Yes, this will be 5 stages in one go for Meekin. So, if Meekins beats this stage, then it would be safe to say that Pika Pal's only hope would be to find the one stage that they have not gone through yet, that they can access on in this area.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
But Meekins is also just learning really well how to
no!
conserve lives
Pika
and
Pal,
get through these stages.
Right at the end of the stage, Pika Pal's unfortunately did not... Wait, is that a finish? Never mind.
That is a finish.
Okay, I thought that Pika Pal's died, but that was not a death.
It's 3 stages clear for Pika Pal's. It's tied their best. But this is the end of the stage for Meekin. That puts them at 5 stages cleared on this attempt.
That's very good. Fantastic job for Meekins. Now a Cosmic Klutz, which honestly, who isn't a Cosmic Klutz here? All you Cosmic Klutzes in chat, raise your hands. I want to see you represent.
I am known Cosmic Klutz.
You are a known one? Good.
I am a Cosmic Klutz, at least.
Haha! Yeah, I see a lot of Klutzes in chat. Uh-oh. Here we go. Meekins on... Get me!
If Meekins can get another clear here, that'd be really good to see.
Oh my gosh, this music is very
I think Meekins
farty.
definitely has enough time to clear this stage.
I
The power
believe
to,
so. Pika Pal's, like, you're doing it right. You're trying to get to another level. Unfortunately, taking a lot of hits, running into a lot of walls, try and pause strats in order to get better at maneuvering through the maze. That is a good idea. Because, you know, one hit and you're dead because you lost all your shields. Well, whatever. Meekins is shooting in rhythm with the music. I appreciate that.
Always good to see some rhythmic shooting.
Yeah, you gotta get in the spirit here. We're in the spirit of Space Ace. It's like
Meekins might also be in that period of, like, burning their brain off because they've been playing this game for the last 2 hours.
Look, this isn't Tactics Formula, okay? Meekins can't be too mad. I gave a game that's basically the opposite of Tactics Formula.
You gave a good game.
Oh, I always give... that's a lie. I don't always give a good game. Like, this is a game that, like, I feel passionately about because it's very painful to play, but it's also super satisfying to see people do well. And Meekins clearing a sixth stage. We only have 1 minute left. There is no way Pika Pals is catching up.
Meekins has cleared every single stage that they have cleared all in one attempt.
That is really cool.
Next measure of progress for Meekins would be to find the industrial ruin and clear that stage next. And even then, that would avoid clearing as many stages as you can in one attempt. So, but we'll see what Meekins can do. Meekins is in the land of blue, which is not a place you want to be, but sometimes it's a place you have to go.
Dabba-dee. Or is it green? It's almost teal. Kind of blue-green. I don't know.
Yeah. A mix between the two. Meekins crashing headfirst into a wall. A good way to send off this game with 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that is life. And there we go, everybody. That is the hour. Throw your hands up in the air. Take a deep breath. that is time. So let me go ahead and welcome the players in to come and chat if they wish. Meekin, not... Oh, come on. I keep accidentally typing the wrong person. Yeah, but I had a lot of fun. I don't want to reveal to them who the winner is quite yet because,
I'll
we'll let them come join.
I'll definitely walk them through the way we've tracked things here.
Yeah, it looks like Pika Pals is here. We're waiting for Meekin. If Meekin comes to join us, and then we can go ahead and talk about how this all panned out, because this was a lot of fun.
While we're waiting for Meekin, though, how did you enjoy this game, Pika Pals?
Well, it was better than I thought it would be, I guess.
Okay.
Hello, Meekin.
Hello, Meekin. Yeah,
right,
Pika Pals, you said that it was better than you thought it would be. Meekin, what about you? Your feelings about Space Ace?
It was leagues better than last week.
I thought that you would appreciate not having a racing turn-based tactical game.
During this one. So let me go ahead and walk the both of you through tracking here, because with the non-linearity, it was a little bit hard to track, so I apologize in advance if there is something that I missed in this, but I think I did track everything here. So both of you cleared the same stages: Mountainside, Space Station Alpha and Beta, Barren Wasteland, Power Tube, and Energy Power Plant. There was one other stage you could find, Industrial Ruin, but I don't think I saw either of you finish that stage.
Gosh, no, I never found that.
Never found it.
Am I correct? Okay. So you both clear the same number of stages, which means it would come down to who cleared more stages in a single attempt, and I believe by my count that is 6-3 in favor of Meekin's box. Am I correct about this?
I don't think I got 6, but I think I got 4 or 5.
I feel like you got 6 on that last attempt you were on.
The final attempt, you got 6. Name them, Okami.
Yeah, because let me pull up the VOD here to.
Did I really
start.
get 6?
I think so.
Pika, yeah, because you went to mountains. You start at Mountainside, I believe.
Oh, I wasn't counting Mountain, right?
Yeah, Mountainside counts as a stage.
It's easy to not count.
Yeah,
it's a mountain.
And then you went to Space Station Beta with the disintegrating moving platform. Oh wait, no, that's not that. That's You're back to Mountain. This is why this game is back to track. So let's see about this attempt here. So Mountainside, Space Station Alpha, I saw. Then it looks like you went to Barren Wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe I saw you do Space Station Beta, and then get a game over. So I thought that was all that same attempt, but that's still. I think you still cleared more stages than Pika Pals did. Within one attempt.
Yeah. Pika Pals, are we mistaken about the number that you cleared in a single attempt? Because if so, we can always revisit the VOD to make sure that we nail down who it is. Welcome to the nightmare.
Yeah, you only need to watch the last 15 minutes of the match, because that's like when I started.
Yeah, that's when
I started doing that.
That's definitely the attempt that I was taking, was your attempt rate at the end that you were still on, in fact.
Yes,
I thought you had cleared every single stage you could have possibly cleared outside of Industrial Ruin, which, if one of you managed to find and clear Industrial Ruin, that would have been the definitive lead there.
I'm pretty sure you're making that stage up. I don't think it exists. I've flown all over.
I make up many things, so you might be right.
The energy power plant barely exists, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh. Pika Pals.
I did really enjoy Meekin's grudge with the power plant.
I did not like getting to that stage, and I did not like the precise jumps I had to do over all those green dogs.
Yeah, I feel like while you struggled with that Pika Pals, you managed to figure it out a little bit faster than Meekin did. Maybe on the last attempt you died a couple times there, but still, I think that you cleared it a lot faster than Meekin did. Like, did you have a strategy that worked for you for that stage, Pika Pals?
Not super well. I just was trying really hard to get the timing on the dogs.
Oh my gosh, those dogs!
I was scanning the VOD. by the way, to be sure. And yes, it does look like Meekin got through all 6 stages that both of you cleared in one attempt.
Dang.
Yeah, so really a good push. And Pika Pal's like, I think you're the first one who cleared more than 2 stages. Like, you had 3 under your belt for a long time. And really, if the match had ended before the hour 50 mark, Pika Pals would have been the winner here.
That's the presume. Because it looked like, based on match chat, that Meekin, you forgot for a bit that the secondary measure was how many stages you were going to get. You got through a single attempt.
I had no idea we were doing that.
You literally replied
if you told
to
me that, I completely forgot. If you,
you
told us
literally replied
You
to
mentioned
me
that.
right after I gave you the metric in Discord. I'm gonna give you shame points. Shame. But yeah, I figured it was probably fine for me to restate it because it was not obviously pinned. I did tell you all, but I wanted to give a reminder towards the end because while it was a secondary metric, it still ended up being important for you to string something together towards the end there. Yeah. And
Because I don't know if you didn't know that when you were on that last attempt, do you think you would have like continued on with it? Not if you didn't know that number of stages in one attempt was.
So
gonna count.
my guess was that finishing X amount of stages opened up that yellow gate.
Yeah,
That was my guess, but it sounds like it wouldn't have mattered anyway because we didn't find a stage.
I believe the way this works is you beat all the stages. I think then you have to go through and shoot all of the orbs in the space maze.
Oh my gosh. I am so glad we didn't do
I
that.
think that's how that works anyway. It could just be this long play does that for score. But
The manual mentions that the 7th stage opens when 6 have been completed. So that doesn't sound right, but...
maybe. I'm not sure.
It depends on if you count the mountain or not.
Now here,
That's what I was worried about, if the mountain counts.
So I'm gonna link you both something in the match chat that I want you to watch because you enjoyed that hub area, right? Where with the space maze.
Gosh, I thought it was going to give me more of a headache than it did, honestly.
I linked something for you in the match room because it gets worse.
Yeah, there's a second hub area.
And it's and they also instead of shooting things, you have to platform.
Yeah,
while constantly
they're
going
ramps.
forward.
Oh, holy cow.
Yeah.
Rocket skate maze.
Oh, we've got
is great.
rocket skates. I want rocket skates. That actually looks sick.
I remember seeing that in the manual a little.
Yeah, there were a few things in the manual that you didn't see. But
Rocket skate maze.
There's a bike section, apparently.
Yes,
in theory, yes. So, yeah, sorry. What were you saying, Okami? Go ahead.
What do you two think about the energize mechanic?
I did it like once or twice and then ignored it.
So you can in the thank you, bro. In the context of a race, for the most part, you can ignore the energize mechanic because you don't need it to make progress. But if you want to see the ending, you have to get a rating of Space Ace on every stage, which involves having
the
to
best
energize.
ending. I think there's
the best ending. Yeah.
So, like, it is important if you want to get the best ending. I don't think anybody has seen the best ending. I don't believe it exists. But the manual says there's one, though I don't know. With that said, like, overall impressions of the game, like, what did you think? Let's talk Pika Pals first. Like, what you loved, what you hated, if this is a game that you would play again, what are your thoughts about it?
It felt better to control than I expected it would.
Okay.
At least.
Yes.
But, I'm pretty sure I will be lost in this space maze forever. Like, literally. I got lost on the left side for so long, I don't know if there was a way back to the right.
I think that's something that would make this game a lot better is if you had a map for the space maze. It seems like the kind of game that could use a map.
Yeah, for sure.
I looked a couple of times, but could not find any map buttons.
There's not a map within the game. There's probably one somewhere.
The map button in this game is the pause button because then you pause the game and go get a pen and paper and map it out yourself.
That's right.
Heck yeah. Okay, so Space Maze kind of sucks. controlling a little bit better. Is this something that you would play again, Pika Pals, or are you done with Space Ace?
Probably not, because playing more would require me to find the last stage, and I don't think it exists.
I love that. And that's not the last stage. It's just the last stage before moving on to the next
in this hub.
Yeah. Nah, you can find it. You save states. You got it.
I spent 2 hours looking for it. I would have found it by now, I think. That's not be real.
During this, I've been flying around looking for it, and I can't find it still.
Yeah, what about you, Meekin? Like, your overall thoughts of the game? Good, bad, return to it later? Question mark.
I don't think I would return to this without a lot, and by a lot I mean unlimited lives.
Yeah, I think there are game genie codes to help you out with that.
Yeah, the warp system is the time warp system seemed a little weird.
Yeah.
Neither of you found one of those secret areas with items.
Oh,
you probably saw a few moments during some stages where everything got like pixelated for like half a second.
Yes.
So that was indications as to where there was like a distortion, which is basically a bonus area with some additional points. So like if you jump there, you could have found a bonus area with some stuff.
Oh, interesting. There was one like right at the start of the game, I remember.
Yeah, the first stage, there is a secret area that does have extra lives in there that neither of you got, and that would make a big difference.
Also, out of curiosity, were either of you familiar with the original arcade version of this game before this match?
Nope.
I know it exists, but I don't think I've ever watched it really.
It wouldn't have helped.
Worth. I think that, at least in terms of locations and like the motif, this version of the game is in that regard faithful to the original arcade version, but that's like the only way that's faithful to the original arcade version. You can definitely recognize all the stages from the arcade version, but also you can't recognize any of the stages from the arcade version.
Yeah. Well, with that said, this was a fantastic match. I very much enjoyed it, and I loved seeing both of you figure out how to get through all of the BS that is hitboxes in this world. Meekins will be moving on. Pika Pals, you had a fantastic push during this tournament, and seriously, great job. You are out, but hit me up sometime so that I can get you a gift card over on Steam, and I believe for this round it is, where is it? Endurance round, $35. So yeah, I'll hit me up. I'll get that over to you, and also let me know if you are wanting the Neil Breen movie. It's not out yet, so I might have to give a different Neil Breen movie out, or a different movie out instead. Just let me know what you'd like, and we can go ahead and do that for you. Other than that, do you have any words for your tombstone?
Still lost in the space maze.
Good old epitaph, live by the maze, die by the maze. At least there wasn't a minotaur. Actually, I'd rather have a minotaur, make a friend.
There might be one. There might be one, actually. I'm not sure yet.
It's a big maze.
Maybe it's in there somewhere.
Well, thank you both so much, and thank you, Okami, for jumping in and doing commentary. I'll let all three of you go. Take care, friends.
Y'all, good luck in your future matches, Mikan.
Thank you.
You're gonna get nuked next, so be ready for that.
I can wait.
All right, see you, friends.
Goodbye.
Well, everybody, we've got one more match coming up in just a minute. We're a little bit early. I'm going to run an ad because I got to run to the restroom. Go grab some water, everybody. Go and just make sure that you're hydrated, and see you in about 1 minute. Bye.